Hi, I'm Matt Mulvaney from Explorer. In a series of how-to video guides for forms developers, in this video I will show you how to place items on a canvas within a data block in Oracle Forms, and then I will show you creating the same application, placing the same items in a region in Application Express, just to show you how easy it is. In Oracle Forms, to place items in a data block on a canvas, you need to activate the tool palette, and then from the tool palette you can click and add items to your canvas and data block. In this example, I'm going to rename the default name text item 9 to surname. Then I can find the prompt and type a surname in. So that's added the surname there. It's quite close to the field, so I'm going to change the offset to 4 pixels. And what's more, I can use the arrow keys to slightly move that around. So that's a text item. I'm now going to add a checkbox. So from the tool palette, click a text box there. So I'm just going to reduce the size of that so we just see the text box. And again, I'm going to change the prompt to the word active. Give it an offset. Value when checked will be a Y. And I'll just change the checkbox to the name to be checkbox active. Okay. So we've got 2 fields already on the screen. We're now going to add a button. Let's draw that on the screen there. And the button label, use a search to find label, will be the word submit. Okay. So that's my simple application. If I run that, I can type in a surname, I can tick the checkbox, and I've got a button to press. When placing items in Oracle Forms, you can use the layout editor to move things around, and you can also resize things as well. As I'm doing this, the height and the width and the X position and the Y position are all changing values. You can see this in real time as I move these around. So I'm reducing the width, reducing the height, and moving the item around, and it's changing these values here. So in Oracle Forms, you put items in very precise locations on the screen. In Application Express, we have the central window which is called Grid Layout. Here we represent items, placeholders for our regions. Our regions are the closest equivalent to a Forms data block. So if I click on items here, and this highlights, using the gallery down at the bottom, I can start to drag components into this window. So let's pick text field and drag that on into there. We can rename our text field to be surname, and that automatically gives it a label of surname. We can choose our checkbox, and we'll position that below the item in that space there, and we'll call that active. Now if we click on our message, we can see which item requires some attention. So if I drop that down to static values, I would like to return null is Y. The final thing we can do is look at buttons. So I'm going to drag a text button just below that. I will call that button submit. If we run the page, we can see our items have been positioned on the page. If we go back to the designer, which is in a different tab, we can move the items around. So for example, I click on the submit button, and in the column I'm going to pick the fourth comma along, which should align it underneath our items. So change tab back to the designer. I can use the template options button to give it a colour. So I'll choose the warning button, and then on width I'll stretch it. If I say OK and run the page, now that's been stretched from column position 4 to the end of the screen. Other adjustments I can do is increase the size of the surname field. So to do that, I'm going to introduce a piece of CSS code, and I'm going to do that in the custom attributes. So we can say style equals width 300 pixels. Now if we run that now, the surname has been increased in size. Apex has many more types of page items than Oracle Forms. For example, if I edit the page, I can drag on a color picker. I can bring in a password field, and I can also bring in a rich text editor. Now before we run that, I'll change some of the values of the rich text editor. I would like the full toolbar, and I would like that automatically expanded. If I run that now, so we have a color picker here where you can choose different colors and have that returned as a hexadecimal number into the field. We have our password field maxed out by these circles here, and we also have a rich text editor. With this we can change the text, we can bold it, we can underline it, and that is saved in your column. As you can see, Apex gives a very modern looking clean interface with lots of components available. For more information, including our blog articles, visit www.explorer-development.uk.com.